A very good morning to all of you. Uh, Today we will start your unit number 3, that is ecosystem and biodiversity. But before that, we will go through what we have done previously. Okay, so every student I will say that they will join for lecture with their proper name and roll number. Otherwise, I will not allow them for class. Okay, so we already finished the unit number 1 and 2 for your uh, classes. That is the first, the introduction of your environment and segments of environment, also the issues related with the environment, and the 4R concept to reduce the environmental issues. And in unit number 3, 2, we have seen the energy resources. In that we have seen the various types of renewable, non-renewable, conventional, non-conventional, renewable energy sources, and also their effects and measures to be taken, and why they are depleting. All this we have discussed in this unit number 3, 2. And before going for unit number 3, that is for your ecosystem definition aspect of ecosystem and division of ecosystem, also general characteristic of ecosystem, functions of ecosystem we will cover in this. You all are joining very late. You should join on time. Your lecture time is 9 and you are joining on 9:07. So third unit we will start and we will see about the various aspects in the ecosystems. Third unit is the ecosystem and biodiversity, and we will start with the ecosystem today, and then we'll proceed for other. So in previous unit, the last lecture we covered the conventional, non-renewable and non-conventional renewable energy sources, and we have seen all these in previous lecture, and also their advantages, disadvantages, their depletion, why they are depleting, and the factors affecting these energy sources. Also we have seen the effect of use of these energy sources, and also we have seen about the uh, factors affecting the depletion of these energy sources. Okay, so this already we have finished in our last class, and today we will go further. We'll see some uh, present global energy use and the future demand. Generally, energy sources globally we are using for our purposes. It may be industrial, it may be domestic. Then the global energy future demand we will predict. Also the energy conservation, how we will conserve the energy, and energy strategies for sustainable world. So this is the cycle shows here from the energy sources to energy sources. So we will see the we are using this renewable and non-renewable energy sources, the sun, solar system, biomass energy, wind, windmill energy, and geothermal from the earth, where volcanic actions are there, or thermal streams are available under the ground, and hot water is also available. And then due to rain and the hydropower energy we are using to generate electricity. And there are non-renewable, that is the fossil fuel, oil, coal, natural gases, and nuclear. This we are using. uh, Nuclear will also come, and tidal will also come into the renewable energy sources. It supplies the energy needed to run the world. So these sources, they are supplying the energy to fulfill our human being uh, needs. So when we'll come now on the present global energy use. So energy consumption in developing countries, only 1/10 of that in developed countries. So energy consumption in developing countries is only 1/10, and it is about 10% of the energy used by the developed countries. Coal and natural gas were the most used energy fuels for the generating electricity. So here you in below you can see the what's time Danish Rahman. Many time you have told to join the lecture on time, but still you are late. This will not happen next time. You should join lecture on time so that there is no disturbance, and also your loss will not be there. So if you come here, you can see the global scenario in 2018, and then projected for the stated policies for 2004, and the sustainable development policy if you make, then the projection will be like that. The three figure you can see here, and then you will see the coal we are showing with the dark uh, chocolate color, you can say. Natural gas we are showing with the light purple color. Oil we are showing with the red color, and nuclear we are showing with the yellow color. Also the hydropower, solar, wind, and other renewable sources with the green color, light and dark you can see. So from this figure you can come to know that in 2018 the world, the global use of coal is about, you can see the 38%, and the natural gas we are using around 23%. Oil we are using around 3%. This all we are using for our to fulfill our needs. Also the nuclear energy around we are using 10% overall the world, and hydroelectricity we are generating from the 16% throughout the globe, and solar 2%. Now we are using a solar PV, uh, that is 2%, and then wind you can see the here the 5%, and other renewable sources, tidal power, geothermal, etc. we are using 3%. From this graph this the pie chart. From this pie chart, you will project the pie chart for future with the current trends we are using. You can see the in 2014 our coal use will be reduced to 25%, and natural gas will reduce with 1%, that is 22%, and the oil will reduce to 1%. These all are non-renewable energy sources, you can see, because the resources are limited and we are continuously using, and that is the cause of their depletion. And the issue projected for the year 2040, 8% in yellow color you can see for the nuclear power, and then solar, this hydropower will also reduce to 1% due to the many areas they are feeling the dross. Only 1% loss is shown here, but if you project it large and for future it may be reduced. The solar energy we are increasing and using, that is the renewable source of energy, it will increase the 11%, and then other wind is 13%, and other sources 5%, you will see here. Okay, so uh, these are you can use or projected for the current scenario. But for the sustainable development, we need this option number 2. You see, you go for the option number 2, then that will be the sustainable development for the 2040, and we can suggest this is the planning for the sustainable development to save our valuable resources. So in that case, you have to uh, go for, you have to increase the use of solar energy. You can see it is from 16 sorry 2% to 21%, you have to increase. Other sources of renewable energy you have to increase around 5% to, what is time, Praveen? अरफत क्या टाइम हुआ? You are disturbing the class by joining in between. And you can see here, this is the projected for the sustainable development. And also you see here the hydropower will also increase from 16 to 19 18%, sorry, and solar. I will not accept any person with they are joining with other name. Who is this meditation and relax? What is your name? Please change your name, otherwise I will remove to you from your class. Who is this person? Meditation and relax music. Who is this? I will remove him because it's not telling anything, and he has to join with his proper name. Otherwise, I will not accept any student for such names. You can see uh, the non-renewable energy sources, coal and other, we have to reduce so that the energy sources available for future, and it will develop, needs years to develop, uh, and the continuous mining is depleting this. So this is the current trend of the world energy use and the predicted for the uh, further sustainable development. So from this pie chart, you can easily understand. Then the world primary energy demand increases by 1.6% per year. Now, as per the International Energy Agency EIA, if you see that the world electricity consumption in 2012 is 18,608 terawatt hours TWH hours in 2012, and in 2018 the total world energy came from 60% fossil fuel, 10% nuclear, 10% renewable hydro, wind and solar geothermal. Other, yani most of the energy sources in 2018 we are using uh, from the non-renewable energy sources. But for the sustainable development, we have to reduce it to the 16 to 20%. Otherwise, it is very harmful effect for our ecological cycle or ecosystems. The Energy Information Administration (EIA) recently released the latest international energy outlook. Its forecast from Janul Mansoori. So these people we are disturbing our classes with not joining with the proper name. The demand of oil is the most important and most highly consumed source of the energy in the world nowadays. The demand of oil to 04 will be increased to 85 million barrel to the 106 million barrel per day. So these are the future demand for the global energy. Demand for coal will also increase with 26%. Demand for natural gas this will also increase to 22%. So it will all the non-renewable energy sources and their demand are still increasing, and it is very concern about the uh, measures to be taken to avoid the use of the non-renewable energy sources. And it is very embarrassing and uh, that we are still not thinking about our planet of Earth. यानी हम आज भी हम हमारे अर्थ के ताल्लुक से नहीं सोच रहे कि किस तरह हम एनर्जी का यूटिलाइजेशन करें और रिसोर्सेज जो नॉन रिन्यूएबल है जो कि वापस से हम बना नहीं सकते, रीयूज़ नहीं कर सकते, रिसाइकल नहीं कर सकते, उसके इस्तेमाल हम कम से कम करें। और ग्राफ में आपने पूरा अच्छी तरीके से देखा। इसी तरह why to conserve it, why energy should be conserved. We have limited resources available on the earth. Our demands are continuously increasing day by day. And to fulfill the demand day by day, we need more mining and more use of these non-renewable energy sources. So it is exhausted already, and if we are not saving and reducing the use of these non-renewable energy sources, which was the conventional, then we will very harmful effect later on. So that's why the conservation is necessary, and the use of renewable energy sources will help us. How we will do that? We should not keep lights unnecessary switched on at home. Reduce the energy your appliances consumes with the star ratings coming with the uh, electronic materials nowadays. Also, you can improve your water heating efficiency. by using the solar system. Also at the public places, the lights and fans are switched off if they are not in use, especially in the railway station and the bus station, etc. Big hoarding with the lighting whole night should be avoided because that is also the wastage of the energy. What we will do, what is to be our strategy for the sustainable world? The necessary condition for socio-economic change to lead the sustainable world, it should include the satisfaction of basic needs of people. लोगों के basic need क्या है, that we should understand first. Then economical viability, self-reliant interdependences of nation by use of the such energy type, and the harmony with the environment. So there are energy strategies for the future. It can be classified immediate, mid-term, and long-term. The immediate strategy, it will come to optimize and utilize of the existing asset, efficiency in production system and reduction in distribution losses. यानी जो हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं इलेक्ट्रिसिटी या कोई और भी एनर्जी और नेचुरल नॉन रिन्यूएबल सोर्सेज, जैसे कि गैस के पाइपलाइन है, कहीं लीक है और क्या है, उनका कंटिन्यू मॉनिटरिंग, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का लीकेज है, लॉसेस है, तो वी कैन check, put a checkpoint on that, and we can reduce the losses. It may be another strategy. Promoting the R&D would transfer the use of new technology for environmentally sound energy system. जैसे कि कन्वेंशनल एनर्जी से अगर नॉन कन्वेंशनल एनर्जी की तरफ हम जाते हैं, तो डेट विल बी द for the R&D work, you have to suggest to use of the renewable energy resources. Similarly, the medium-term strategy, demand management through conservation of energy, structural changes in economy model, mix in the transportation sector, recycling, है ना. जैसे कि हम देखेंगे इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल आ गई है हमारे, और ऐसे व्हीकल आ गए हैं जो कि सोलार से चलते हैं. तो वी आर यूजिंग द renewable energy. So that is good strategy, and we have to shift to save our earth for resources. Shift to the renewable energy. वही इसी तरह लॉन्ग टर्म स्ट्रेटजी में अगर हम आएंगे, तो efficient generation of energy sources should be checked, and that should be converted to the renewable energy. Improve energy infrastructures, creation of urban gas transmission and distribution network with proper monitoring and avoiding the losses, improving energy efficiency in accordance with the nation socio-economic and environmental priorities, promoting of energy efficiency and efficient standards to aware the public and the people and the industries they are working in this field, and program for adopting energy efficient technologies in large industries, and deregularize and privatization of energy sector for proper working and utilization of these sources. Streamlining approval process for attracting private sector participation in power generation, transmission and distribution. So these are the long-term strategy for the sustainable world. Now we will come to our unit number 3, that is ecosystem and the biodiversity. So outcome of this unit is the conserve the ecosystem and biodiversity, and that we will state the aspects and division of the ecosystem. So this is the author, we have prepared this content. So we will see one by one uh, for the unit number 3. The outcome will be the definition of ecosystem, aspect of ecosystem, and the division of ecosystem. So aspect of ecosystem, you can see this is divided into two segment: structural aspect and functional aspect. Before going that, we will see the what is the definition. The ecosystem is nothing but with the combination of the living and non-living thing, that is biotic and abiotic system. Combinedly, they are called as the ecosystem. है ना? What is ecosystem? The living community of plants, animals in any area together with the non-living components of the environment such as soil, air and water constitute the ecosystem. So living things, they are generally referred to the biotic, and non-living thing, they are referred to the abiotic. Honest woman, what is the time? So A.J. Tensley in 1935 defined the ecosystem as the system resulting from the integration of all living and non-living actors of the environment. Thus, he regarded the ecosystem as a including not only the organism complex but also the whole complex of physical factors forming the environment. जैसा कि मैंने बताया, it is a combination of biotic and abiotic system, and that system is called as ecosystem. And biotic system, it come under plant, animals, human beings, and non-living things are abiotic. There is soil, air, and water. These both combinedly constitutes the ecosystem. Now we'll see the aspect of ecosystem. The ecosystem can be defined as any spatial or organization unit including living organism and non-living substances interacting to produce produce an exchange of materials between the living and non-living parts. The ecosystem can be studied from their structure or functional aspects. So there are mostly two aspects in the ecosystem. You can see that first one is the uh, your structural aspect, and second one is the functional aspect. So in structural aspect, abiotic component of environmental factors. There is physical factor, that is like topography, temperature, moisture. Organic components are protein, carbohydrate, lipids, link abiotic to biotic aspect. Inorganic components, that is the carbon dioxide, nitrogen, oxygen and the carbon. This is the abiotic components, you can say environmental factors that will affect the and that will consider into the abiotic system. Then in biotic component, we will come the organisms. It may be plants, प्रोड्यूसर, दैट इज सब्जी है, तरकारियाँ हैं, और दूसरे जो फल है, फ्रूट हैं, they will come under the biotic system. Also the consumes of animals and human beings also, you can and decomposer of microorganism, etc. They all are come into the biotic components or organisms. Now what is the function of your ecosystem? This is you can see the ecological cycle in this way: the energy cycles, food chains, diversity, in increasing the plant and animals, and then nutrient cycle and evolution what will be produced by the earth crust during that period. Definitely we are using uh, the food and many things, plants and other organisms, and soil, water, air, we are consumption for our use. This and the energies, coal and natural gases, etc., their cycle, food chains, okay, and diversification in the what we need, and the nutrient cycle to be maintained, and the evolution and what should be evolved by the earth during that period. All this combinedly is called as the ecosystem, and these are the functions of ecosystem. If they work proper, then the ecological cycle will be maintained. अगर ये energy cycle, food cycle, or diversification means the production of the agriculture or other uh, forms of diversification, industrialization, etc. Nutrient cycle we have to maintain for the our soil, water, and air, and the evaluation of the that natural resources of that is we are using for our purpose. So this whole combinedly are the functions of ecosystem. When it comes to the energy cycle, so you can see if the solar energy, this photosynthesis, the plant adopt or take the carbon dioxide and water from the earth and sunlight from the sun, and it produces the glucose, sugars, and also the oxygen released into the environment, which is useful for the uh, consumption of animals and living organisms, you can say. And at the same time, the animals and plants, they respirate and they release the carbon dioxide, and due to evaporation and other sources, the water is also released, and the cycle is energy cycle is maintained. So energy cycle is based on the flow of energy through the ecosystem. Energy from sunlight is converted by plant themselves into growing new plant material, and during the photosynthesis, the carbon dioxide is taken by plants and oxygen is released. Animals depend on this oxygen for their respiration, and the cycle is continuing. That is called as energy cycle. So this will come into the functional aspect. Now the food chain, if you see, plants can grow by converting the sun energy directly into their tissues. They are known as the producers. Plants are nothing but the producers in the ecosystem. The plants are used by the herbivorous animals as a food which gives them energy, and the carnivorous in turns depend on the herbivorous animals on which they feed. जैसे कि यहाँ पर आप देख रहे हैं कि you can see the cycle. This is the plant. They depend on the water and this, and this grasshopper, they use the grasses, and this frog, it is eating to them, and the frog is eaten by the snake, and then it is. These are the carnivorous. These are the carnivorous. This is the herbivorous. Is depend on the plant growth. These all are the carnivorous, and then this integrate, and then again this fossils is used for the growth of plant, and this cycle food chain is continuous. So in daily life also you can see we are consuming, the human being, they are consuming, they are herbivorous and carnivorous both. But in animal also some are the herbivorous and some are dependent on the herbivorous animals. They are called as carnivorous. They are eating meat and other thing. So this is the food chain, and this can be the functional aspect of. Then you can see the diversity interlinkages between the organization. They, you can see the plant. This they eat the plant. They eat the plant. They eat the plant, and this corner, and then they eat the plant. But these animals, they eat these worms, butterflies, etc. And the snake or this eagle, they were eaten by this, and they are the carnivores. So that is the diversity interlinkages between the organism, and that is called as a diversity. And if you see the nutrient cycles, air in atmosphere, carbon dioxide through the photosynthesis, it is utilizing by the plants, and then plant is releasing the producing the carbohydrate, and we are using that, animals are using them also. They are releasing the oxygen, and the animals uh, they utilize the both this for their energy sources, and again this cycle is continue. So this is the nutrient cycle. The bio geochemical cycles are pathways of the transport and transformation of nutrients. The gaseous cycle examine carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, etc. Similarly, sedimentary cycle, that is phosphorus cycle, sulfur cycle, etc. These all are come under the nutrient cycle. And then last one, the evaluation. This is the Darwin theory कि पहले इंसान बंदर था, फिर ये बना, फिर ये बना, ये फिर बना, फिर ये इंसान बना. It is his own theory. What actual, we don't know. It is the theory, just its justification you have to say. Ecological succession is a process through which the ecosystem tend to change over a period of time. So this, you can see the rocks are there, then small plants, then annual weeds, etc. Then the trees will come into the picture. But this evaluation depend on the fossils from the organisms and microorganisms. They are converting into the. So that's why this evolution of the natural resources is also necessary. So that will also come into the functional aspect of your ecological system. I will come under the division of ecosystem. So the ecosystem can be divided from the energetic viewpoint into three types of organisms. First one is producer, second one is consumers, and third one is the reducer. Okay. So this can be explained as under this producer, consumer, and decomposers. You can see the producer, generally it will come with the plant. Okay. And this you can see these animals, they are nothing but the consumers. They are eating the plant, and then they are simultaneously reducing, and after the death of this animal, they are decomposing, and again these nutrients, and they are utilized where these plants to grow. Right? So that's why this ecosystem, you can see division of ecosystem, you can see the producer, that is algae, plants, and bacteria are the producer of the ecosystem. All other organisms depend upon the directly or indirectly of their food. Consumers are the herbivorous and carnivorous and omnivorous animals. Omnivorous animals, they eat both, and they eat the organic matter uh, produces by the organism. Very late you are joined, Wasir Rahman. Then consumers are herbivore. We have seen now they are this cycle. We have seen the divisions how it took place, and then reducers are heterotrophic organisms like animals. They are fungi and bacteria that decomposes the dead organic matters. So generally, they finishes the every dead bodies or plants, and they are reducing. And after the decomposition, these nutrients go into the earth and from the root of the plant or any other means this is utilized by the plant or the animals, and this cycle or division of ecosystem will take place. So today we have studied these points, the definition of your ecosystem. Also we have seen the aspect of ecosystem, structural aspect, and mainly we have seen the functional aspect. Also the division of ecosystem: producers, generally they are plant; consumers, the animals, birds and human beings, animals, etc. They will come under the consumers, and reducer the your microorganisms that decomposing the foods and other things. So these are some references for preparing this section of your environmental engineering. So this here the lecture number your 10 is finishes, and lecture number 11 we will continue. We will see tomorrow. So thank you for joining today. Due to the first lecture on Thursday and Friday, I am saying that in first lecture there is very less attendance of the students. You should improve your attendance.